tens. So if we look here, Bob's Sled Shop rents 4,000 sleds each month. How many sleds does the store rent in 6 months? So we need to find 6 times 4,000. Okay, so multiplication can be thought of as a repeated addition. So if we draw, we can do this. If we multiply 6 times 4, because if we cover up these numbers right here, our basic fact is 6 times 4. So if we start, there's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. Sorry about those jumps that kind of get away from me. Okay, so we got 24. We're counting by fours 6 times. Okay, now each time that we continue this process, we're going to add a 0. Okay, and our 0 is going to show us our 0. All we're doing is adding a 0. So all we have to do is add a 0 to the end. So instead of going 0, 4, we're going to go 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240. All we did was add 1 0 to the end of our product. 24, we added a 0. 20, we added a 0. 16, we added a 0. 12, we added a 0. 8, we added a 0. 4, we added a 0. And the 0 stays the same. So now, let's look at 400. If you're tell me that adding 2 zeros is how we're going to do it, then you were exactly right. So here we have 2 zeros, 2 zeros, 2 zeros, 2 zeros, 2 zeros, and 2 zeros. Now, this number right here is a little bit different because it looks like we added 3 zeros, but our number originally was 20. So we still only added 1, and we only added 2. Okay, so that's kind of a trick. That's where we get a little bit tricky, but should be okay. Then we're going to add 3 zeros. 3 zeros, 3 zeros, 3 zeros, 3 zeros, 3 zeros, and 3 zeros. So if we want to know 6 times 4,000, we're going to do our basic fact. 6 times 4 is 24. And then we're going to add 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to get the number 24,000. That is a lot of sleds to rent in 6 months. All right, let's keep moving on here. We're going to come down here. And here's our basic fact. Okay, so our basic fact here is 3 times 7. We all should know that 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 70 is 210. We're going to keep our pattern going. How many zeros do I have here? So there's 3 times 7 is 21, and I need to add 2 zeros. So now I have 2,100. Okay, let's keep with the pattern. 3 times 7 is still 21. But now I'm going to add 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 zeros. And I get 21,000. So 21, 210, 2,100, 21,000. Okay, let's jump over to here. 8 times 5 is 40. There's our basic fact. Okay, so now we're going to add a 0. 8 times 50 is 40. Add a 0 makes it 400. So now we have 8 times 5 is 40. Now remember, this is where we have that tricky one because it's a 0. We need to add 2 more zeros. 1, 2. We get 4,000. 8 times 5,000. Well, we still start with 40 just like we did before, but we're going to add 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. So we get 40,000. Okay? Now, this last one down here says, how does the number of zeros in the product of 8 and 5,000 compare to the number of zeros in the factor? Okay, so we're going to look right here. 8 times 5,000. Okay, our answer is 40 if we're looking at our basic fact, right? 8 times 5 is 40. So how many zeros are in our product and in our factors? So what we can say is we will have 3 zeros at the end of our product because our 3. All right. So that's how we are going to do that. All right. Hopefully we can get through and enjoy.